In what will go down as one of the most wild experiences in his coaching career, John McCreery had a week to remember last week. We're back on KSPK's coverage of Grizzly Connect. John, the last week of your life, dating back to just last Saturday, in a 7-day period, how would you explain what has taken place and transpired?
Well, a lot of it had to do with big shock. Just me and the team. Everyone was in shock right away. A lot of emotions going on last week, and I was, very surprised how resilient the team was about how they, bounced back. The first two practices were, kind of down, weren't really going there, but after those two practices, we've had 4 or 5 great ones, and they're ready to go. A lot of the emotions were rising, but it seemed that everyone came together, and this adversity will make us stronger.
John is now the interim head coach of the ASC men's lacrosse program. Jason Lamb taking over a newfound position at Notre Dame University. He'll become the director of lacrosse operations. When you hear the term interim, it does feel very temporary, but with your resume, your experience at UC Santa Cruz, you would be a candidate for a position like this if it was open. So now having a chance to show what you're capable of doing, what feels more elevated about this position and the opportunity to show that maybe there is a permanent position waiting for you at the end of this season?
Well, the big thing is this is probably my dream job right now. I recruited majority of the players here. I know all of them, and I've come, it's my second season here at Adams State. I know the town, the community, and I love it here. And coming from my background of, the West Coast and the Southeast, I really enjoy this community and this athletic department. So I want to be here. And so this season, it's not going to be about wins or losses. It's going to be about, keeping the guys enjoying the sport, keeping them, academic strong, in the classroom, and keeping them have a good season. Just more about the team, and keeping them here and happy. And that is what my goal is for this season.
It's John McCreery with the ASC men's lacrosse program. When we chat with coaches like Lewis Wilson of the ASC men's basketball team, career assistant, takes over a program last year, and immediately you realize, even though you applied for this job, what kind of difference exists as a head coach. You had no time to prepare for this. It was really within one night. When you woke up that first morning after finding out that this would be your team and the buck stops with you, what was the first major reaction you had when that thought dawned on you?
Oh God. Because like you said, you have no time to prepare, to think about it. So you just had to take a deep breath and then figure out, step by step what to do. The biggest, concerns were, on field. The players. That was my biggest concern, is how they would take it, and how to help them cope with the change. This last year and a half, I've been doing a lot of the recruiting, the budgeting, helping with scheduling and stuff like that. And my experience is in that background of being a head coach before. So the big part was me focusing on the players.
So here it is, your first chance to be on the field, talking with your team. What approach did you take? Spontaneous, scripted? How was your message crafted?
Well, it was just, we went hard, right? I talked to the team beforehand, before we even walked on the field for practicing. We had, 2, intense meetings, where I explained who I am and where I'm coming from and why I coach. And I wanted to get that message out, to the whole team. And I coach for them. That is why I'm here. It's their success and their happiness is why I coach. It's not for, my career. Of course, I want to go up, and this is a high point in my career right now to be a NCAA Division II coach. But these guys are what makes me, wake up every morning and want to teach them the sport of lacrosse and teach them how to become good persons.
It's ASC's interim men's lacrosse coach, John McCreery, a guy who has so much experience in Oxford, in Mississippi, in Santa Cruz, in California, being at Mississippi and being in Northern California and learning the game in a part of the country that it is still really being cultivated in Mississippi and in California, where it's established. Colorado, kind of a middle ground where there's more and more excitement at the high school level and at the collegiate level. When you look at these three places you've been in, what are some of the steps you're taking now to show these players and kind of display your connection with the game in some very different circumstances and settings?
Yeah, well, the big thing for Colorado, lacrosse is focused around Denver, and I spent the last year getting in the Denver market with recruiting and understanding what a Colorado player is. It's different from a California player and different from a Southeast player. We say Colorado tough. Their mentality, they play a little more physical. A lot of them have hockey backgrounds, which helps them, that they're not flashy players, but they get the job done. And I love being in Colorado for lacrosse, just because of right now in western Mississippi, only 9 NCAA teams exist, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 5 of them, 5 and 9 are here in Colorado. So this is the epicenter for collegiate lacrosse in the West.
Season starts today. You have your first exhibition at Colorado College and looking at what will transpire over the next few weeks. Really, there's no time to adjust. Looking at the club action you have on this Saturday and the type of atmosphere that will surround this game and really the next month of the season, what's your main priority for these games?
The main priority, especially this weekend against Air Force and Colorado College scrimmages, is to speed up the game. Air Force is Division I, the fairly good Division I, and to see the game played at that speed. The reason why we just throw them into it is to see where it's a measuring stick, where we need to be by February 25th when we play Mesa. And that is what we're looking forward to right now. And so we're going to use that speed in transition game to build up our practices after this weekend.
Coach, good luck. Thanks for chatting with us.
Thank you.
It's John McCreery with ASC Men's Lacrosse. We'll continue.